Hey everyone, this is Melissa and this is another episode of Shift Talk. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this, and let's get this word out. Today we have Gabby with us. I'm going to let her introduce herself and talk about the car.
Hi guys, I'm Gabby, also known as the She-Dragon. My car is a 2015 Dodge Challenger Hellcat. It's a 6-speed manual in the sublime green. It's a factory color. I have a lot of mods done to the car. I've done a lot of interior mods recently. I've been focusing on a lot of performance mods as well. I have a Borla A-Tech. I have a Flame Tune, a 2-step. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff done to the car.
I'm like, all right, keep going. I don't have to ask any questions.
I got the Starlight.
So I'm assuming your favorite color is green. Is that safe to say?
Definitely safe to say.
You got the nails green, the shirt green, the Starlight.
Always got to match, because you know what the thing is like, it kind of, well, my like matching the car kind of came out of like, first off, I love the color, but second off, like every time I go to a meet, somebody's like, "Oh, is that your boyfriend's car?" I'm like, "No, this is my car. I match the car." Don't you see that?
I hate that so much.
I hate that too.
I always said that. I hate when people are like, "Oh, like especially if a girl comes out, why would you ask? Oh, is that your boyfriend's car?"
Yeah, that's why I have the She-Dragon plate, the lady-driven plate frame.
Yes,
you know, all the good girl stuff. But
I feel like there's so many guys doing like girl color cars that that's why they're getting like confused. I guess I've seen a lot of guys with like the bright pinks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen, there was this one really nice Miata that I've seen that's like in the bright pink color, and it has like a paisley pattern on it.
Yeah, and you would think it's a girl,
right,
obviously, but it's a pink car. But
I guess the green's kind of confusing because typically girls don't really go for like the color green.
Yeah,
but I just think that green is so beautiful because it's a perfect combination of cool and warm. And it's like the color of life, it's the color of money. So it's like, there's a lot of really good things that come with green.
All right, we like the green.
Exactly.
So yeah, I love the carbon.
Yeah, so
that's inside too. It's all has the green.
I actually work with Hellgato Carbon from California. He originally did my steering wheel for me, and I loved what he did so much that I like pretty much begged him. I was like, please, if I send you my like interior trim pieces, will you do them too? And he was like, only for you.
Okay. So you had to pick everything off and then ship it to Cali.
So this all came off. This came off. I actually bought new door handles to send to him because I obviously didn't, I couldn't just take my door handles off otherwise, because in the challenge you can't get out of the car otherwise without the door handle.
I'm living in here. This is where I live now.
Yeah. So, or otherwise I had to keep the windows open all the time so I could reach on the outside.
But then, well, at least this car is garage kept, so that's fine.
Definitely garage kept, yeah. Because, you know, she's a 2015, so she's a little bit up there in age. But the reason that I like that the car's a 2015 is because it's the original Hellcat. It's the first year that the Hellcat came out.
Okay.
So it's like an OG. Whereas, you know, everybody's traded their cars in and they've been getting new ones. I like that this is like original.
Yeah, so the paint is original. This is how it came.
Paint's original. The hood's original too. The hood is a matte black hood. I looked up the specs a while ago. I don't remember what they are right now off the top of my head. But there was only so many made in the sublime green. And then of those in the sublime green, only like either a half or maybe less than that got the matte black hood.
Oh, so this also came factory. The matte.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything on, like the paint on the outside, the look on the outside of the car, except for like my spoiler, my diffuser, my front lip, you know, that's all factory. Yeah. So that's also why I've kind of been slow in restoring it, because I really want to make sure that when I do restore it, everything's the perfect factory color. Yeah. I get the right paint and everything. Got it. Because I do have a couple like things and dents in here. You know, I'm just a girl. So.
We're gonna put that in. I'm just a girl.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I got a couple dents, but.
And then and it's bagged, right?
Bagged. It's on the bag. Oh, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's bagged. I saw it.
I got my airlift bags.
Okay.
So, love that old faithful.
And do you? So when you have, so now you have the bags. How is the ride height? Like, does it?
I think I kind of, when I'm driving, I keep it a little bit higher just because I like to be a little bit safer, especially in New York. Yeah. With all the potholes and like the speed bumps and everything. But like, other than that, it's very comfortable. I have no problems with it. I wish that I had them, I guess I adjust it a little bit more so it was closer to the floor when I'm fully aired out. Yeah. But we can work on that. That's not
yeah. Because when you air it out, it didn't like, I know usually people like are touching the floor.
Yeah. But then too, I was also worried that if I did it like that, that I would ruin my underglow.
Yes.
Because the underglow is just like right under my lip. And I really don't want to rip that off.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And the starlights you got done recently, or how long you've had these?
I got those fairly, I think it's fairly a while ago now, because it was one of the first things that I did really want to get done to the car, and like into making it my own after I bought it. I went to Empire Vinyl, and they were amazing over there.
Yeah, shout out to Empire Vinyl.
Yeah.
They did my front bumper.
Oh,
shout out to you guys.
Yeah, Calvin's the man.
Yeah.
So he always takes care of us. He's worked on my car. He's worked on Blake Subi, his Mustang now.
Yeah.
So we really trust them with a lot.
Awesome.
But yeah, he did a phenomenal job, as you can see. And I can change the colors and everything. I have like the whole.
Oh, okay. So
I
it
have a
just
whole
doesn't
little
stay
remote.
green.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
But we're gonna keep it green because.
Because I'm gonna stick with the brand, right? But yeah, I like the green. I think.
So have you? Because I haven't really. So I'm trying to remember where we kind of like met or whatever. Because I remember we were thrown in a group together, in the car supply girl group.
Yeah, with my friend Ann. She works with me.
Okay.
She's she has a Beamer, so she's part of like the Beamer girls and everything. And I think that's how we got connected. It was talking through Ann. She's she's good people.
Yeah. No, but I know we're both in that other. There's a chat. That we're all.
I'm honestly the worst for group chats. So
I know.
Please don't.
No. I just be looking through. I'm like, all right. There's like no, but it's like 100 girls in the chat, so don't feel bad. There's a lot of girls in that chat.
I am like the worst. So like, this is just like a general PSA for anybody who's like trying to be in my DMs. I'm sorry, because I'm the worst with answering my messages.
She answered me, guys. Let me do the hair flip.
But you can ask all my best friends. Like, I am the worst with answering messages, so I feel bad about that. But no, I you know what? I saw what you guys do, and I really appreciate that. Like, you're out here interviewing girls and stuff like that, because honestly, we're a small niche.
Yeah.
And if you look on Instagram and on TikTok, you really don't have a lot of car content catered to women.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have somebody who's actually interested in doing
I'm
that.
trying.
You're doing a
I'm
great
trying.
job. Yeah.
I say it one show at a time. I'm trying to break the stereotypes. I'm trying to show that there's car girls, like legit car girls that are like into this, and they're not just in it for the likes and the views and all that. And I really wanted to interview girls that actually are outside.
Yeah, like actually like care about their cars.
Care about their car, and also like pop out to meets and go to shows and do car things, like you know, like that's
because you know what I like don't like about certain car girl culture is that I feel like certain girls use it for attention, and like just to be kind of provocative, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm here because I actually generally love cars. I grew up with cars my whole life.
Okay, talk about that. So how long you've been into cars and all that?
I've been in cars my whole life. Like I grew up in a car family. My family owns a car dealership in Amityville. Okay. So I've always been around Dodge products, Chrysler products, stuff like that.
So you're an American girl.
Yeah, I'm definitely an American girl.
There's the Mopars, right?
Yeah,
that's okay. We call it the Mopars.
I mean, literally anything American though. Like I love this country. But as far as these cars go, like I remember growing up, and when I went to like school dances and stuff, I used to ask my dad. I was like, "Can you bring like whatever the hottest car was and stuff like that?" And I was so excited. I remember I was so excited when the new Charger had come out. That was at that time.
So what year was this? This was like,
I'm gonna date myself real quick. Hold on.
She's like, wait, I'm not gonna. Like a while back. Like.
Wow, a little bit. You remember when? I don't remember the year, but the Chargers with like the pointy nose. Okay. You know what I mean? It was before the more rounded body ones. Probably like 2010 kind of era. I remember seeing the new Charger at that time, and I was like, Dad, like I love that car, but I didn't think Charger was a cool name. Yeah. I thought Avenger was the name of the Charger. So if you remember what the Dodge Avenger looks like, that is not a cool car at all. That is like a straight up like
we're gonna put a picture of it so I got reference.
Oh my god, the Dodge Avenger is like the ugliest thing ever. But I thought the name was so cool, and I was convinced that the Charger was called Avenger because I'm like, obviously this really cool car is gonna have a really cool name. Why would it be called a Charger?
And it's not.
And it wasn't. So all I was doing was talking about this car to my dad. I was like, Dad, I want you to bring this Avenger. we're going to go to the Avenger, to the dance. Like, I can't wait. My 8th grade dance. We're going to the Avenger. And he's like, okay.
He's like, whatever you, yeah.
Well, if you really want to take the Avenger, we'll take the Avenger.
And then he pulls up in the Avenger.
And I was like, oh my God, that's not the car that I meant. I was like, shit. Not what
now
I
you got to
wanted.
follow through with it.
And
now,
he was like, are you sure? You sure don't mean the Charger? I'm like, no, I definitely want the Avenger. And then when he pulled up with it, I was like, oh, that's not what I wanted.
so you've always had American cars.
Always
right?
American cars. I've loved them my whole life. I mean, you know, here and there, my dad would like get a Porsche or something a little different. But for me, what's always resonated with me is the Charger and the Challenger.
Okay.
They're just like, in my opinion, the most beautiful cars. I know that, you know, granted, it's a boat, so it's not the easiest.
It's a lot of blind spots.
A lot of blind spots.
Yes.
But I just think it's just so classic, and it's just a look that, like, I feel like anybody could really enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always been into cars. Actually, that's what I do now. Is I work at the dealership.
Okay.
So just cars are my whole life.
That's so you're just surrounded about it. Okay.
That's all I do. Yeah.
So when's the last time you've been to like a show or something or?
Well, we did just go. I didn't bring the car. We went to Import Expo, but the last time I brought the car somewhere, like a show, not like just like a little meet, it was probably like a Rick's Magazine event a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But it was actually funny because at the time, it was like when I first kind of just had bought the car, maybe like within a year or two of me have just buying it.
Okay.
And I thought it was like hot shit. I was like,
no, I think anytime you buy your car, then you're like, this is fucking great. Like, I like this. Like,
oh, well, and I also too, because the car was new to me and I had done a few mods. I thought like, oh wow, my car's like super modded. Like, I could totally like enter it into a thing and like I'll be good. So then the day comes and we pull up. And I'm wiping my car down and everything, and I start seeing all these other girls come with all their cars, and they are just gorgeous. Like, I forget what the girl's name is, but maybe you'll know her when I describe her car. She used to have this, it was like a Versace theme with the purple.
It was purple, the car?
Yeah, I think it was an Infinity. But the car was just gorgeous, decked out. And it was, she paid attention to detail. Because even the door jambs were painted and everything. Wow. So, like, you got painted door jambs.
I like when people, like, I also go in to look. And when there's, like, little, when people paint, like, their door jams and they open their everything.
Because usually when you wrap the car, you don't pay attention to the door jams. Because, they're going to be closing everything.
Don't look at my door jams, guys.
Did not mean to shoot any shots. But that's one of the things that I noticed on her car, because she had this beautiful Versace, like, it looked
in the door jam.
In the door jams.
Oh, okay.
Gorgeous, like, beautiful attention to detail.
Yeah.
She just did everything, like, to the T. And when I saw that car, I was like, oh, fuck. I'm not. I was like, I am.
Put this spray away.
I was like, I am not placing anywhere in here. So that's really what triggered me to start doing way more mods, and I had been really focusing on just my performance mods because I wanted the car to sound a certain way. Yeah. And then that's why I started doing the steering wheel, the interior stuff. I switched my little shift ball over here because I started to realize that, like, as much as I love the sound of my car, that's not always going to be enough to like win a show and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, I feel the same way. I feel like I think I'm like, oh, I did it so much, and then I'm like
like shit.
I was like, damn it.
But I really appreciate everybody else's work. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, and it's not, I'm not saying it in like a jealous way or anything. It's like, I really, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
more inspiration. Yeah, inspirational.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not hate. It's just like, oh shit, yes, I can do better. Yes, I can do that now. Yes.
And that's why my wallet is.
We're in the most expensive, disgusting habit.
Oh
That's
my
just,
God,
it is what
I know.
it is.
It's like worse than anything else. It's crazy. But I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah.
I love being a car girl.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the girls in the community right now? I'm asking all the girls. Like, do you feel supported? Do you have a good car girl?
I feel like the problem is that everybody kind of like has in their own heads the way that they think that people are going to react. Okay. And then when you actually sit down and have like a good conversation with somebody, you can like find a lot of common ground. Mm-hmm. And like, I think what happens to me a lot of the time is like, I'm a very outgoing shy girl. Okay. If that makes sense. So like, I'm not going to be the person that walks into a room and just starts talking to everybody, but if somebody can break the ice for me,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll have like a wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of feeling is, I mean, maybe it's just me,
No.
honestly, but I feel like that's what happens a lot of times is like other car girls are like, oh, maybe they don't want to talk to me. Maybe they're like,
Yeah.
you know, they just want to be in their own lane.
Yeah.
And it's like, really, if you just had one person to break that, like, that ice,
Yeah.
you would realize like, oh no, like everybody's mad chill. We all do want to be friends. We're
Yeah.
all just kind of like, maybe like it's like game respects game, and like we're trying to be like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Well,
you're an
yeah.
easy person to talk to.
I honestly do. I'll go to meets and I'm like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And tell me about your car. And it's so, and this is what I want to tell girls, that it's so easy to talk to girls at car shows. Just ask them about their car. They're gonna start spewing, and then that's it. And then
100%.
yeah, what you did. I did this, and you're like, all right. And then you've already had a 10-15 minute conversation, and then you're exchanging information and you're networking, and that's what I do.
See, that's why I think it really comes down to like people themselves, because like I said, like I'm a little shy, so like you would probably just come right up to me.
Yeah.
But I would be looking at you, wanting to talk to you all night, and it'd be like, oh my God, I'm so nervous to like go up to her, you know? So.
No, I'm not intimidating. I'm good. Everybody can come up to me and say hi. I have no problem.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you all night.
Yeah.
I have no issue doing that.
I love that. Do you find that like a lot of girls, they want to talk to other people?
I do feel like I do feel like they do want to talk, but you got to get out your cars, girls. That's another thing. You can't, like, you really can't. Like I said, I know some girls are shy. I get it, and you know they're like intimidated. Like I spoke to the last girl, and they're intimidated. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, you can't sit in your car and then expect conversation.
Come up to you.
Yeah, like your windows cracked this much, and you're like, hello. Yeah. No, you gotta be okay with also, because that's what guys do. Like that's what guys do at meets.
100%.
They just like they're just going up to people and you did this. Oh, that should look cool. Blah, blah. We got to do the same thing.
100%. And honestly, like if it's a testament to what you're saying right now, my boyfriend Blake is the shyest person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to cars,
he'll talk. His ear, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, 100%. He'll walk up to a random stranger and just start a conversation. I'm like, bro, you would never do that in like any other situation.
Exactly. No, it's easy. Honestly, it's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
And I think girls think that it's hard, and it's not. And I'm telling you now that it's not.
And I think that to your other point about girls not wanting to bring their cars out, like, especially for me, I just found something that I loved with my car, and I ran with it. Like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. This is my car.
Yeah.
You can love it or you hate it. It's my dragon. So I'm bringing my dream to life. And if you really love your car, just drive it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like,
and
bring
enjoy
it out.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it's okay. Like, I get people be like, oh, well, I'm building a show car. I'm like, at the end of the day, I always say, cars are meant to be driven.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like,
what they're for.
I don't believe that you should only bring a car out when it's a show. You know, like, you should be able to go to a meet and go to a Cars and Coffee or something like that and showcase it. And
I completely agree with you. I hate that mentality.
Yeah.
Like, a while back, I was dating a kid like that where he was like, I'm never bringing my car to meets. And I'm like, bro, like, half the reason I'm dating you is because of your car.
Exactly.
Like,
so you're always dating. So you date car guys only? Then we'll get into that then.
Kind of date car guys.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, but I guess my past 3 boyfriends since college have all been car guys.
Yeah.
So, it's like,
how do you feel about it? Because I know some girls are like, I would never date car guys and stuff like that.
I feel like, don't you want somebody that's interested in the same things that you are?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I also kind of like being able to flex that, like, my car's better than yours.
My car is louder. Her car is very loud.
I know. Blake's doing a really good job with the Mustang. He's getting it to be a lot faster and just as loud as my car, but low-key I'm like, stop it. Let me be the one with the best car in this relationship.
So if you didn't have this car, what's the dream car? What would you want?
That's always a really tough question that I do think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
Personally, I'll tell you a story, like, when the first Iron Man came out,
okay,
and this is like a while ago, and they were debuting the R8.
Okay.
I love that car. I love it still now. I like the older ones a little bit better than the newer ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I would be interested in getting an R8, but I truly believe that I am in my dream car.
Nice.
Like, I love my car. Everything about it, the fact that it's an American, that it's a Hellcat, that, like, it's my family's brand, and, like, I've grown up with it.
Yeah.
Like, there's just nothing for me to not love, and it's green.
That's good. That's amazing.
can't
If you
even
feel
beat
like
that.
you
Yeah.
made your dream car, then that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's still getting built every day because I always find something new. That
No,
I
it's
wanna
a
do to the
never
car.
ending project.
Yeah, like this is next. My vision has been for a while now. I had bought some fabric and I was kind of playing around with it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put like dragon scales
Okay.
on the seats.
Okay.
And then
But you want to keep these seats just
I want to
modified.
keep. Yeah, I want to keep them. I would either have somebody make like a cover for them. Because, like I said before, I'm kind of cheap.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's expensive habits.
No,
so
it is.
I want to do it in an affordable way.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get like dragon scales on the seats, and then under the hood of the car, I want to get somebody to paint it to look like a dragon's mouth.
Like when you open the.
Yeah, so it looks like
So like an
mouth's open.
airbrush. That would be cool.
Airbrush.
Yeah.
If Plasti Dip, if they can do it underneath it, that would be cool. But yeah, there's still so much to be done.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much money I can make.
I know. That's the problem
Yeah.
with this.
There's a whole vision coming, you know?
No, but that's good. I'm glad that you feel like you're like, I made this car my own, and I'm so content that you're so
Yeah.
content with it. And
Well, because you know what, too? I was also really nervous at first. I had bought the car, and it was done beautifully from my friend Forrest. It was very classy.
so you bought it. Okay, so you bought it used.
I did buy it
Okay,
used. Yeah,
and-
I'm only the third owner. Forrest was the second, and then whoever originally bought it.
Mm-hmm.
He had done the wheels, and he had put the airlift kit in.
Okay.
And I think he did the exhaust too. So those were like the three main things that I got the car with.
Okay.
And then pretty much everything else I did on my own. But you know, at first I was having this feeling of like, you know, I didn't want to be like bought, not built. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
So I was really rushing to do a lot of modifications like the Starlight and the Underglow.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've kind of mellowed out a little bit because I feel like it's really coming to
Yeah.
my own. you
Okay.
know? Yeah.
And how do you feel about Instagram? Because I know that the car scene and like social media, like I feel like a lot of people are, it's like a 50-50. Like, you know, people are saying
Yeah.
that it's, even in the comments are saying like, oh, it's like destroying the car community. Like if you don't have thousands of followers, then it's not, you're not, your car, you know, whatever.
Your car really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Because I've also seen like so many nice cars with what, like 400 or 500 followers, but they have like great cars. Like
Beautifully, and it's
Yeah.
so funny. I find that too all the time. I'll be like, because I'm the kind of person where if you have your please, more people put your Instagrams on your cars because I am trying to follow you and I can't do that. if I don't know what your Instagram
that's
is.
another thing. Yeah.
Like I love it. Anytime I see somebody with a car, if I'm like just driving around in my daily, I'm like, oh, gotta take a picture of them because I gotta go follow them later. You know, because I'm like that. I really love community and
Yeah.
I love people that care about their cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find that a lot where people have these sick builds and they only have like 500 followers, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I'm following you too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, gotta show them
501.
all love.
Yeah.
I know I get a lot of follows, and then like if I don't immediately follow them back, I'm a little busy. Like they'll unfollow me, and I'm like, damn, like did you like the car? You just wanted to follow. Like why do we have this
No.
weird like?
Yeah.
I don't like
Honestly,
that.
That's weird. I don't like it when people do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
why are you watching so hard? Like,
Yeah.
give me a second. Like,
Yeah, like I'm,
You know, that's another
I'm
thing.
cooking dinner.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's also, it's not good to be on your phone so much.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also, you know, I'm a 90s baby, we'll put it that way. So I didn't really grow up with a phone in my
No.
hand like that. So that's why I too don't answer messages that much. Sorry, guys. But I prefer to be living in the moment and
Yeah.
doing stuff like that. Instagram, I think the reason that it's becoming a problem for the car community is because people are chasing the likes.
Yeah.
And instead of it really being about the cars
Yeah.
and about the community of car people,
Mhm.
they're making it more about how fast can I make money, how fast can I get these likes, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And I feel like it's just a big problem for our whole society.
Yeah. And I
Just
feel
the
people are
car
very
community.
weird about like even what they put on like their stories. Like I remember like telling a few people like, hey, can you like repost this? And they're like, no. And I'm like, it's on your story for 24 hours. Like
Yeah,
what's
the problem?
yeah, what's the big deal?
Yeah, it's not like it's permanent, you know. But I don't know. I think that people are too concerned with their images nowadays.
Yeah.
And you just need to live a life where you're happy with yourself and not worried about what everybody else thinks of you.
Yeah.
In
No,
my
I
opinion.
agree. 100%.
You know what I mean? I'm very like spiritual.
No, that's good. You should live in the moment. I 100% agree about that. So have you been on any teams or anything like that, or are you not a team person? Okay.
I'm not. It's not really so much that I'm not a team person. It's just I've always kind of been like banging to the beat of my own drum.
Okay.
And I've just never been I guess a part of a group or anything like that where somebody's like invited me to do that.
Yeah.
I also like I don't like the idea of putting a label on it, kind of like, so to speak, because like I want to be surrounded by everyone. And I don't want to join a team where like, oh, like, so like for instance, I'll give you like a good example.
Okay, yeah.
Like when this is back in like closer to like 2020 we're talking now.
Okay.
Some of my friends had started their own group and they had branched off from another group. And then like every time we were trying to do car stuff, it was like, oh, I can't go to there because that group's there and like we don't like that group. And I'm like,
okay.
oh my God,
It's
guys, can we all
the
just,
politics of it.
yeah. And I'm like, can't we just all be friends? We're all car people.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, it's people and their personalities, and you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, funny story. Okay, we'll get into it. So I was very young, and I remember I went on a date with some guy, and I forgot what car he had. That's how irrelevant it was.
Yeah.
And so we wind up like, he was in his car and he was like, oh, if you know how to start it, then like we'll go where you want. Like a little like test bullshit, like something like weird like that. And I was like, ugh, don't even like these vibes right now. But okay, we're doing this. So I get in the car and obviously I don't know that you got to press the clutch down to start the car. I don't know nothing. So now I'm just sitting there.
So you were like, you had no car knowledge.
Nothing. I was like, no, I didn't. Not that I didn't have car knowledge, but I just didn't know how to drive stick.
Okay,
I was always a passenger at that point.
Okay.
And I was like, never again. So I literally, about 2-3 weeks later, I found a 89 CRX. That was my first car. It was an 89 CRX. Some guy had it in his junk, like in his backyard. Hadn't driven it in years at this point. And he was like selling it for like $800. And it was an SI.
Wow.
And I was like, this sounds like a steal.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sure. And so then he goes, do you know how to drive stick? I was like, no. And he was like, how you driving it home? I'm like, we're going to learn today.
Yeah.
I drove
Love
it home.
that.
I drove it home with no plates, no registration. I was outside.
Riding dirty.
I was riding super dirty, and I just learned in that car.
You freaking go.
I was like, never again would I let someone like play me at that.
Yeah.
Like never again. And then so I had that car for a few years, and then
I'm so glad I asked.
I went through it with that car, like, because it had a sunroof. The SIs come with sunroof, and it was leaking. There was times it wouldn't start. I learned how to hotwire because of that car.
That's so good. Well, you got to teach me how to do that.
I was hotwired in a Hellcat. And then I remember like, yeah, so and then that happened, and then ever since then I would, you know, I'm a 90s baby too, don't worry. So like I remember I would go to the meets and I would go to the runs, and yeah, that's just fire. I was just doing it, and that's my little car story.
I love that. I'm glad you got that in too. That's great.
But yeah, so I want to thank you again for coming on.
Of course.
I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, like hopefully you guys will ask me to come on again.
Yes,
I really enjoy talking to you.
Good. This was, we're shit talking.
Yeah, but it's great. You know what I mean? Because it's nice. It's like I said before, this is really something that you don't see a lot of on Instagram or YouTube, and I like the vibe because, you know, I don't want to be always out there like strutting my stuff, and then I also don't want to be like, you know, I don't know, like some of this stuff, the content, I don't really like the
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
And I really just love this. Kind of like feels like I'm having a good conversation with an old friend.
Yeah.
You know, so
We're all
it feels
friends
great.
here. We're all
Yeah.
friends here.
Thank you so much.
But thank you for coming on. And thank you guys. And this was another episode of Shift Talk. Hope you like, subscribe, share, do it all. Let's get the word out and let's get more girls on this. I'll see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.